Tonight on Evening, experience the essence of the Pacific Northwest in one menu.
I think we need to talk about the Seahawks for just 2 minutes.
And Saint talks to one of the Seahawks' biggest fans about his scary new movie. Plus a massive cookie drive serving our community's homeless.
Well, good evening and welcome to Shaker and Spear, a fantastic restaurant you got to check out. We're actually inside a historic hotel, the Kimpton Palladian Hotel. Maybe you've driven right by, right next door to the Moore Theater here in downtown Seattle. Yes, historic, but it got a proper zhuzh in 2015, reimagined on the inside, and today they are ready to host you.
The Kimpton Palladian is a historic building. It was built in 1910, originally as a Calhoun Hotel. A nice history that's already here. 2015, it was reimagined, totally gutted, and rebuilt as the Kimpton Palladian. So we've been around for about 10 years. So.
There's a lot of character in this space.
Absolutely. We love to have fun with the Seattle pop icons. We of course have Jimmy behind me here and Bill Gates, other icons right here in the lobby.
You have a lot of honors. Forbes says this is the best pet-friendly hotel in town.
Absolutely. We love our pets and we don't charge any kind of a pet fee. So we have a few different restaurant venues here on property. We have Shaker and Spear, which is our coastal forward restaurant. Chef Gabriel has done a fantastic job of infusing his own local Latin heritage, but also bringing in his really bold flavors from Asia as well. So a real nice fusion, but also makes for real interesting dishes.
You've also got a fun bar right over my shoulder.
Yeah, so Penny Royal is our English pub-style bar. Fantastic cocktails that we'll get a chance to taste a little bit later.
Did I see something about a unique opportunity to take over this whole hotel for World Cup soccer?
Yeah, so we have a promotion going right now for a full buyout for World Cup. You can rent the whole hotel, including all 97 guest rooms, both restaurant venues, as well as our event space called the Art House right next door. So a great way to have a corporate office or a company, or even just if you have a cool $3 million, you can buy the hotel and use it as your home base for World Cup.
What a fun hotel. Shaker and Spear, by the way, open 7 days a week until 9 o'clock. Penny Royal Bar right over my shoulder, open until 10 o'clock. Meanwhile, at the movies, fans of the Scream franchise, you might remember them as one of horror's most dynamic duos. Matthew Lillard and Skeet Ulrich, they are back, this time for 5 nights at Freddy's 2. Saint caught up with them to talk about scares, bunny suits, and the Seahawks.
Ready? Yeah.
Yeah! It's been nearly 3 decades since Matthew Lillard and Skeet Ulrich terrorized audiences in Scream. Now they're back in the horror game, this time as part of the wildly popular 5 Nights at Freddy's franchise. And yes, these best friends know fans are freaking out.
Once Skeet came on board, we definitely had a big celebration. We know the impact that this film has on the fan base, and having Skeet on board is an absolute gift for not only them, but for me as his friend and for the entire franchise.
A touching tribute, and one Skeet takes as a challenge.
I'm fortunate enough to get to be in Matt's life regularly, and he's a blessing to the world. And, to get to, yeah, top that. You can't top it.
A blessing to the world.
In case you've missed the last decade of the internet, 5 Nights at Freddy's is a video game turned movie phenomenon, where, after closing time, cute-ish Chuck E. Cheese style animatronics turn into nightmare fuel, all led by a costumed Matthew.
Yeah, bro.
What was the biggest challenge wearing the yellow bunny costume?
Yeah, great question. It makes me about 11 feet high. So figuring out how to walk, how do you move as Yellow Rabbit? What's too big, what's too small? That was a challenge, but super fun.
Skeet, what makes Matthew a convincing villain?
He's evil. He's just straight. I know I said he's like a blessing to the world, but I meant in an evil sense.
We'll let Matthew's publicist deal with the fallout. Just as the interview is wrapping up, Matthew wants to change the subject.
I think we need to talk about the Seahawks for just 2 minutes. Let's talk about JSN and push for all-time best receiving yards. The fact that the Rams lost this weekend is absolutely huge. Darnold's crushing it. Reek this weekend had an incredible pick and then turned it over, but that's all right. We're gonna let that go. Big Hawks fan. We're kicking ass and taking names. Let's go Hawks.
All right. On that note, let's end it there. That's perfect.
There you go.
ESPN's up next.
Thank you, Saint. 5 Nights at Freddy's 2 hits theaters this weekend, and it's rated PG-13. All right, it is December, and every December, a local nonprofit, Plymouth Housing, hosts a massive cookie drive for its residents, many of which have experienced homelessness. And Jose shows us how these sweet treats puts everybody in the holiday spirit.
Today we are celebrating the Plymouth Housing Cookie Drive, where we gather the community to help us provide cookies for Plymouth Housing's residents. We were lucky enough to have over 7,000 cookies donated.
With this amount of cookies, they need any help they can get. That's when the volunteers come very handy.
We're bagging cookies, labeling cookies, and packaging them up to send them out. This is our home, and this community has a track record of success, and we like to support what's working.
People, especially around the holidays, want to give some of the joy and blessings that they have to other folks.
A sweet way to make this holiday special and cheerful for the community members in their program.
Plymouth Housing provides permanent supportive housing for adults who have experienced homelessness. Many of the folks that we serve have been homeless for many years. Being able to kind of wrap them in that holiday warmth is really important.
Once the cookies are packed with a nice little holiday message, it's time for delivery.
We will have volunteers delivering all of these bags across King County.
Merry Christmas and cookies.
A gift bag with baked goods that it can really make somebody's day.
We plan to continue to do it for many more years to come. We'll be looking for more volunteers to help package, donate, and deliver.
Thank you, Jose. If you'd like to get involved, you just go to their website, fill out that cookie donation form no later than December 5th. Then you drop off those cookies at their office on 3rd Avenue.
Still to come on evening, the perfect place for winter fun, where you can go snowshoeing in the moonlight. And we find out why thousands of crows are gathering at this college campus.
Wow!
Local stories make a difference.
That's good.
With the power to enrich lives, strengthen communities, and make us smile. Evening is made possible by Primera Blue Cross. Primera Blue Cross, always in your corner. Follow King 5 Evening on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube for exclusive broadcasts, extras, and giveaways. It's your direct line to Team Evening and the best of the Pacific Northwest.
And welcome back to Evening. I'm Chris Cashman, bellying up to the bar. Get in where you fit in, as they say, and I fit in quite well here at the Kimpton Palladian Hotel. This is the Pennyroyal Bar, open every day until 10 o'clock. Great place to come grab a cold one or a warm one. Speaking of which, if you're looking for some winter adventure, I would head South Bend, Oregon, Cashman Country. Say hi to my parents while you're in town, and don't miss out on one of the coolest winter adventures, and I do mean coolest, snowshoeing in the moonlight. Saint has the story.
In Bend, when the sun sets, everyone heads down from Mount Bachelor. But that's the best time to go up, according to Jared Garfield.
My favorite hour of the day is that twilight hour as the sun is going down.
Jared's a senior guide for Wanderlust Tours. After dark, his workday is just beginning. He leads nighttime snowshoe adventures.
I mean, this is my office. It's pretty hard to have a bad time in this forest.
The outings start at the base of Mount Bachelor ski area. Jared shares some safety tips.
If you step on those tiny trees, you'll find yourself waist deep in a tree well.
Then the group heads into the forest, their way lit by headlamps and moonlight.
The weather is perfect. We've got a beautiful moon, and we've got some beautiful fresh snow here, and I don't think we could ask for a better night.
There are no crowds and no packed out paths on these adventures.
we just try and get out here. We don't stick to a trail. We just wander around looking for fun things to talk about, nice hills to run down, just looking for that fresh snow.
Playing in that fresh powder is a highlight of the night.
I got stuck.
So the night trips are hands down my favorite. I think that most people don't go out at night on purpose by themselves.
It's both a winter wonderland and a workout.
Woo!
But there's a reward at the end of the trek. After all that ice, fire.
It's just amazing being out here, and it's such a beautiful night with the full moon and the crisp air and the wonderful company. So it's pretty great. We live in an amazing place. Yeah, that's...
And a toast to a place made even more amazing by moonlight.
So to bring them out here and be able to share just the beauty that is Central Oregon, especially at night, it's just so darn incredible.
Yeah. We made it.
We live to tell the tale.
What a cool, one-of-a-kind experience. It's going to cost you $150 a person. That does include the snowshoes and the headlamp. And if you don't get out in the snow that often, you can even rent the pants, of course, and the boots. December is all about fun, festive holiday traditions, but perhaps one of the oddest is unfolding on a nearby college campus, and it's technically a murder mystery.
It happens like clockwork.
Right around sunset, you'll see kind of some crows trickling in.
When the sun goes down on the University of Washington, Bothell, thousands of crows come to campus.
You just see lots and lots of blackbirds in the sky, and it's quite cacophonous as well. They can be quite loud, and yeah, it's fun.
After the ruckus, they roost, settling in for the night in a nearby natural area.
They go over to our North Creek Wetlands Restoration where they sleep.
Douglas Wacker is an associate professor of animal behavior. Thanks to this campus phenomenon, he knows crows.
It was natural for me to start studying crows, and it was great because they're incredibly interesting.
The fact that these crows choose to snooze on a college campus is appropriate.
They're super smart, yes. I guess it's an apt place for them to sleep, that's right.
Wacker studies the sounds crows make.
They have that rattle call.
We have some remote recorders out on the roost, so these little kind of small recorders, we put them up in trees. Personally, I think they're fascinating because they're intelligent and they're social, and they have a pretty big vocabulary of sounds that they make.
If you want to catch the crows, here's some advice.
Come on a clear day if you can. The closer you get to the middle of winter, the better.
They may not be the official UW mascot, but these crows rule this roost.
It is really, I think, part of our identity here at Bothell. People know about the Bothell crows. They're excited about them. I'm happy that they're here.
Cool, lots you didn't know about crows, and I guess technically the murder mystery has been solved. I've earned these. Up next on Evening, the King 5 Broadcasting Tower gets dressed up for the holidays. And later, the perfect way to warm you up during these cold winter days.
The Underground Donut Tour is a 2-hour walking tour sprinkled with Seattle sights, history, and of course donuts. Pink feather boa, mango fritter, a cake donut. How are you? Raised brioche dough. Cream filling. Churning out donuts all day long. It is a beautiful piece of humanity to see people bond over donuts. Woo! Flip for donuts.
And welcome back to Evening. I'm Chris Cashman. You're inside the Kimpton Palladian Hotel, a cool historic property. Maybe you've driven right by, right across from the Moore Theater. Shaker and Spear, an incredible restaurant. Pennyroyal Bar, open 7 days a week until 10 o'clock. Come check it out. It is officially the holidays. One of our King 5 traditions is lighting up our broadcast tower in the Queen Anne neighborhood. Maybe you've looked at it every single year, and this year it's back. We sent photojournalist Diane Lewis-Torrey to capture the twinkle.
We are hanging the holiday lights for King Television.
This is what I am looking for.
Far back in the mist of time, somebody said, you know, if we put lights on that, it'd look like a Christmas tree. So we're putting lights on it to make it look like a Christmas tree.
How's it looking up there? We're raising the last set of lights for all the families to enjoy.
It's such an amazing honor to be a part of, what's been a long-standing Seattle tradition that I remember sitting down when I was 5, 6 years old and watching King 5 while they did this. Construction was completed on this tower in the fall of 1953, and it was first lit in Christmas of 1953.
It's fun.
There you go.
Good. It's one of the easier things we do, and it's really exciting. They get to do something called a rappel, or controlled descent. They slide down the rope using a friction device with a backup safety rope, just in case all the worst stuff happens. In this case, though, since it's 369 feet straight down, they're out there completely out in space.
It looks good.
There's 4 strings that go down each leg, and then another one that goes right straight up the middle. People that do this kind of work like to do stuff like swing from 350-foot tall structures and get to go into strange, exciting places. But in this case, what they get to do is kind of like an amusement park ride. It's like a ski lift, only you get to pretend you're Tarzan. At the bottom of the tower here, that swing is about 50 feet long. So it's pretty exciting.
I don't know, we just want to, hang our lights and pretty up the holidays for people. Happy holidays from your friends at King 5.
Thank you, Diane. Now the twist, when they were unboxing the lights this year, they discovered that much like your Christmas lights, several of them were tangled. We had to replace a couple strands. That's why it was not lit up right after Thanksgiving. So the plan now is to light it up officially on Friday, and it will stay lit through the holidays. All right, time now to test your knowledge of our Washington State geography. Where in Washington? So where in Washington will you find the so-called magic school bus? Here's a hint. This quiz might give our Cougar fans a home field advantage. The answer when we return.
Now in our 40th season, Evening shares local stories that make our communities shine. Thanks to support from Pemco Insurance. Pemco empowers the Northwest to prevent the preventable. Learn how at pemco.com.
And welcome back to Evening. I'm Chris Cashman. We are hanging out at the Kimpton Palladian Hotel here in downtown Shaker and Spear. Fabulous restaurant, Pennyroyal Bar. So much to check out here. And time to pay off our quiz. Where in Washington? You can find the Magic School Bus way out in eastern Washington along Highway 261 in Washtenaw. Arguably the most colorful highlight on the long road to Pullman. Cougs, you know it. For years, people have pulled over, added a new coat of spray paint to the old school bus. You can actually find more images using the hashtag. It's got its own, that NW bus. And time now for a heartwarming story, or arguably a lap-warming story, if you play your cards right. A cat cafe in Puyallup. What better way to warm up on a winter day than a hot cup of coffee and kitties?
There's Bridgerton, a British shorthair with heterochromia. Murdoch, who's big and blind. And Monty, whose hobby is sleeping. Just some of the cats you'll meet when you visit Catfinated.
We're really excited to continue with this adventure as Catfinated has grown since 2019. And now that we're here in Puyallup, we're looking to continue to expand and invite in more people and adopt out more cats.
In fewer than 5 years, nearly 700 cats and kittens have been adopted out.
We feel really excited that this many cats and kittens have found wonderful homes. We've had adopters come back for a second cat, even sometimes looking for a third. So we're excited to support our local shelters and make sure that these wonderful animals find their forever homes.
Here's where some of that coffee comes into play. For every bag of Catfinated coffee sold, a portion of the proceeds goes to animal rescues.
We're not your ordinary coffee shop.
Where else can you come in for a cup of coffee and find a new family member?
Cats are amazing companions. We like to tell people that dogs are dependents, cats are roommates, but really they're a bit more than roommates. They really are your family.
Catfinated, what a special place. Yes, they are all adoptable. They're only closed on Tuesdays and Wednesdays. Well, that'll do it for us here tonight. My thanks to the Kimpton Palladian Hotel. What a great space. Come check out Shaker and Spirit, get something to eat. Penny Royal Bar, open 7 days a week until 10 o'clock. Come on. For Jimmy and my buddy Bill, I'm Chris Cashman. We'll see you next time.